Have you ever laid next to your man after years, maybe even decades together, and just quietly wondered, why does he still want that? Like, of all the things in the world, why does that one specific act pull him in every single time? Almost like something deep inside him just can't help it? And maybe you've never said that question out loud. Maybe you've just carried it, silently, privately, wondering if there's something wrong with him, or maybe even something wrong with you for not fully understanding it. Sis, I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now. Put the phone down, close the other tabs, grab your tea or your coffee, and just be here with me for a few minutes. Because what I'm about to walk you through today might just be the most honest, most eye-opening conversation you've ever had about men, desire, and what intimacy actually means at this stage of life. Welcome back to Talia Talks Love, the one space on the entire internet where we do not sugarcoat, we do not shame, and we do not skip the hard stuff. I am so genuinely glad you clicked on this video today because this topic, this one is different. This one goes deep. We're talking about why men carry this almost primal, almost instinctual emotional pull toward one very specific intimate act, kissing you in your most private, most vulnerable, most tender places. And more importantly, what it actually means when your man wants this from you. What it says about how he sees you, what it says about the relationship, and why understanding it, truly understanding it, could change the way you experience love, closeness, and your own body in ways you genuinely never expected, especially if you're a woman over 50. Now, before we go any further, if you are brand new here, welcome home, because that's what this channel is. A home, a safe place. Hit that subscribe button right now and tap that bell icon because we are having real conversations about love, intimacy, relationships, and female psychology every single week. And I promise you, once you're in this community, you will never want to leave. And for my ride or die sisters who have been here with me, I love you more than words can say. I see your comments, I read them all, I save some of them and come back to them on hard days. And today's video was genuinely inspired by the messages so many of you have sent asking about exactly this. So this one is for you. Let's get into it. Okay, so here is the truth that most women, and I mean most women, across cultures, across ages, especially women over 50, have never once been told. And the reason nobody tells them is because we live in a world that is incredibly uncomfortable talking about female pleasure in an honest, dignified, non-shameful way. But not here. Here we go there. So lean in because this is the part that matters. When a man desires this act, when he wants to kiss you there, in that intimate space, in that private and tender and deeply personal place, it is almost never, and I mean almost never, primarily about his own pleasure. I know that might stop you cold. I know that might feel surprising or even hard to believe, because so much of what we've been taught about male desire frames it as selfish, as taking, as something a woman simply endures or tolerates. But that framing is wrong. It has always been wrong. And decades of relationship research, clinical therapy, honest couple counseling, and thousands upon thousands of real conversations with real men and women confirm the exact same thing over and over again. When a man desires this act, he is not trying to take something from you. He is trying to give you something. He is trying to give you his full, undivided, completely focused attention. He is trying to tell you through action rather than words that your body is sacred to him, that your pleasure matters to him, that he sees you, all of you, and he is choosing to be right here, fully present, with zero distractions, completely devoted to making you feel good. That is not lust, that is love expressed in one of the most primal and beautiful ways a human being can express it. And I need to pause here for just 1 second. If you are watching this and already feeling something shift inside you, if something I just said landed differently than you expected, do me a quick favor and hit that like button right now. It takes 2 seconds and it genuinely helps this message reach more women who are sitting somewhere right now carrying the same quiet questions you came here with today. Go ahead, I'll wait. Okay, good. Thank you. Now let's keep going because we are just getting started. So let's talk about what actually happens inside a man when he pursues this kind of intimacy, because this is where female psychology and male psychology intersect in the most fascinating way, and most relationship books completely skip over it. Men, at a biological and psychological level, are wired towards certain forms of giving as expressions of desire. It's counterintuitive, right? We tend to think of male desire as this aggressive, self-serving force. But the research tells a completely different story. Men, particularly men in committed long-term relationships, particularly men who are emotionally invested in their partner, experience this act as a form of devotion. A form of worship, honestly, in the most human and beautiful sense of that word. When a man is focused there, his entire attention is on you, Not on himself, not on what he's getting. Completely, entirely, 100% on your response, your breath, your body, your pleasure. And that focus, that complete and total attention from another human being is one of the most powerful emotional experiences available to us as people. It is the opposite of being ignored. It is the opposite of feeling invisible. It is being seen fully and completely in one of the most vulnerable moments possible. And here is where it gets really important for women over 50 specifically, because I know so many of you are sitting there thinking, okay, but my body has changed. I'm not the same as I was at 30. Things are different now. Menopause happened. Hormones shifted, the way I look, the way I feel, the way things work down there. It's all different. And you're right, it is different. Aging is real. Menopause is real. The physical changes that come with it, changes in tissue sensitivity, in natural moisture, in the way your body responds, those are all completely real and completely valid. But here's what I need you to hear, and I need you to really let this land. He knows. Your partner knows your body has changed. He has watched it change. He has been there through the years. And he is still drawn to you. He is still reaching for you. He is still showing up with this desire, this intention, this devotion. And that is not accidental. That is not habit. That is a man actively choosing to pursue intimacy with you, knowing everything, seeing everything, and wanting you anyway. Can you feel how powerful that is? Because if you're letting shame or self-consciousness or cultural noise tell you that you are past the age of being desired, that man is sitting right next to you, blowing that lie completely out of the water. And the only thing standing between you and that connection is the story you've been telling yourself about your own worthiness. Let's talk about the women I've met who finally broke through that wall. Because these stories are real and they matter. I remember one woman, she was in her late 60s, had been married for over 30 years, and she came to me almost embarrassed, almost whispering, and she said, I genuinely don't understand why my husband still wants this. We're older now, it feels like it shouldn't matter anymore. Why does it still matter so much to him? And what struck me wasn't the question itself. It was the pain underneath it. The years of wondering, the years of quietly deflecting, quietly pulling away, quietly carrying this confusion because nobody had ever sat down with her and actually explained what was happening. So I explained it to her the same way I'm explaining it to you right now. And I watched something shift in her face. The tension just released. And she looked at me and said, so he's not doing it for himself. He's doing it for me. And I said, yes, that's exactly it. That's the whole thing. That's the key. And she went home that day and had a conversation with her husband, a real, open, shame-free conversation that she told me later was one of the most intimate moments of their entire marriage. Not because of anything physical, because of the honesty, because of the finally saying out loud the things that had been sitting in the silence between them for years. And that brings me to something I want to say very directly, because I think it is one of the most important points in this entire conversation. When you pull away, when shame or discomfort or self-consciousness causes you to shut down or deflect or avoid this kind of intimacy, your partner does not experience that as modesty. He does not read it as she's just a little shy. What he experiences at an emotional level, whether he's conscious of it or not, is rejection. He reads it as she doesn't trust me enough to be vulnerable with me. She doesn't feel safe with me. I'm not enough for her to let her guard down. And over time, slowly, quietly, invisibly, that repeated experience of reaching out and being turned away builds a wall between two people who genuinely, deeply love each other. And neither of them quite knows how to name what's happening or why the distance keeps growing. This is one of the most common and most heartbreaking patterns in long-term relationships, and it almost always starts not with anything dramatic or explosive, but with small, quiet moments of disconnection. Moments exactly like this one, where one partner reaches toward intimacy and the other pulls back in silence. So what's the answer? Communication. Real, honest, shame-free, open-hearted communication. You don't have to do anything that genuinely makes you uncomfortable. That is never what I'm saying. But understanding why he wants this, understanding what it means to him, and being able to talk about it together, that right there is the intimacy. That conversation is the foreplay. That moment of looking at each other and saying, I want to understand you, I want you to understand me, and I'm not going anywhere. That is the foundation that everything else is built on. Now, let's go a little deeper into the science, because I think when women understand what's actually happening physiologically, it removes a lot of the mystery and a lot of the shame simultaneously. The area of the body we're discussing is one of the most densely nerve-rich regions in the entire human anatomy. The concentration of nerve endings there is extraordinary. We're talking about thousands of sensory receptors packed into a relatively small area, which is why stimulation in that region can feel so intense and so emotionally activating at the same time. When a man engages there with care and intention and genuine attentiveness, he is not just creating a physical sensation. He is activating your nervous system in a way that simultaneously triggers feelings of safety, vulnerability, trust, and pleasure all at once. That is a profoundly complex emotional experience. That's not just physical, that is your entire being responding to being fully seen and fully chosen by another person. And for women over 50, whose relationship with their own body may have shifted through menopause and aging and years of cultural messaging that says their sexuality is somehow less valid now, that experience of being fully seen and fully chosen can be genuinely healing, not just for the relationship, for her sense of self, for her confidence, for the way she walks through the world. Quick check-in. Are you still with me? Because we are in the deep end right now and I love it. If this conversation is doing something for you, if you're feeling seen or understood or like something is finally being said that you needed to hear, drop the words heart connection in the comments below. Seriously, go do it right now. I read every single comment and it means everything to me to know this reached you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are we even doing? Hit subscribe, tap the bell, join this family. We do this every week. Every week we go here together. Don't miss it. Okay, let's talk about confidence because this is where everything starts to come full circle. Confidence is magnetic. And I don't mean confidence in the performative, pretend you feel good when you don't kind of way. I mean the real thing. The quiet, settled, I know I am worthy of love and pleasure and I am not going to apologize for that kind of confidence. When a woman carries that, when she walks into intimacy knowing her body deserves to be there, knowing her desire is valid, knowing she has every right to receive pleasure and give it, her partner feels it. He feels it immediately. It draws him in. It deepens his attraction. It creates this beautiful, self-reinforcing cycle where the more she shows up fully present in her own pleasure, the more he shows up devoted and attentive for her, and the more connected they both feel, and the more desire grows between them, and around it goes. This is not a fantasy. This is not wishful thinking. This is what happens when women stop shrinking, stop apologizing, stop letting shame sit in the middle of their most intimate moments, and start receiving. Fully, without guilt, without reservation, without the running mental commentary of am I okay, is this okay, do I look okay? Just receiving, being there, being present in your own body and your own experience. That shift changes everything. Women who embrace their own sensuality, who learn to communicate what feels good, who stop waiting for permission to feel pleasure. These women report not just better physical intimacy, but deeper emotional connection, stronger relationships, more confidence in every area of their lives. Because here's the truth that nobody tells you. When you learn to receive love in your most vulnerable moments, it rewires the way you relate to love everywhere. You stop pushing it away, you stop deflecting it, you start believing it when it shows up. And that belief, that quiet certainty that you are worthy of being loved fully and completely, is the most attractive thing a human being can possess. It doesn't have an age limit, it doesn't expire. In fact, for so many women, it gets stronger with time, with experience, with finally, running out of patience for anything less than the full, rich, real thing. And as we bring this all home, I want you to sit with this for a moment. The idea that passion has a deadline, that desire belongs to the young, that intimacy gets smaller and quieter and less important as the years go by. That idea is a lie. It is a cultural lie that has stolen too many years from too many women who deserved so much better. The truth is that the most deeply connected, most passionately intimate relationships I have ever witnessed in my career have been between people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. People who have lived enough life to finally stop performing and start feeling, who know each other well enough to be truly vulnerable, who have enough self-awareness to show up with intention instead of just habit. The richest intimacy is not behind you. It is not a memory from your younger years that you're just supposed to quietly mourn. It is in front of you, right now, waiting for you to decide that you deserve it, waiting for you to stop letting shame and self-consciousness and outdated cultural noise stand between you and the connection you have always deserved. Every single woman watching this right now has the right to feel desired, has the right to give and receive pleasure without shame, has the right to experience love that is rich and deep and full, not despite her age, not in spite of her body's changes, but with all of it. Because of all of it, you are not less desirable as you get older. You are not less worthy of intimacy as your body changes. You are a whole, complex, beautiful human being who deserves to be seen, chosen, and celebrated. And the man who reaches for you in your most vulnerable moments is trying to tell you exactly that. Let him. Trust yourself enough to let him. If this video moved you today, if it said something you needed to hear, please give it a like, share it with a woman in your life who needs this conversation, and leave me a comment. Drop heart connection down below and tell me what this brought up for you. I read every single one and I will respond. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell so you never miss a new episode of Talia Talks Love, and I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. Love yourself, and remember, the best is not behind you. It is waiting right now for you to step into it with your whole heart. Without apology, I'll see you soon.